All right, today I want to talk about how you can edit your podcast using the sane and simple podcasting approach, which is experiment until you find something that works and do that so you can get your podcast out into the world quicker so you can get on with literally everything else, including connecting with the people that you're going to connect with your podcast. All right, so the things that you use to edit your podcast can vary widely in 2025. I'm going to make this brief, which for me is about 5 minutes. So let's do this. You can edit in the cloud. You can just do some sound design and not edit out content. So there are decisions to be made, right? Are you just going to fix the sound quality if there's anything wrong? Are you going to take out words or sentences or even parts? Those are decisions you need to make, and maybe we can talk about those more specifically. Leave some comments below if you want to hear that in some future live events or live vertical lives that I'll do here. I'm happy to go into those, but those are all decisions you make during editing. What I want to focus on today are the tools that you use to edit. Now, most of you are going to lean towards the free stuff when you begin, like Audacity. Gosh, what's left that's free anymore? Honestly, that's the main one I can think of that's free. I personally right now still use Hindenburg. I use Hindenburg 1.0. There's 2.0 that also has a little bit of video sound editing, not video cutting. Long story. Ask me in the comments if you wish. So there's that. Also, not free, but very affordable is Reaper. That one has a one-time fee of $60, and that edits audio and video. It's a little bit more geek-friendly, so you can do a lot more, but it's harder to learn what they are. There are some videos on YouTube and whatnot to walk you through, but it's not as organic as Audacity might be, but you have more functionality in there. For me, Audacity crashed a lot years ago, but I haven't used it for about 5 years, so I don't know what the current stability is of it right now. Audacity has also changed and added on a lot of things since I stopped using it. So I would definitely recommend trying it first, getting used to how you edit a podcast, making those decisions on what you want to edit, what you don't want to edit. There's a lot of nuances of podcast editing that is so much more than cutting out words. That's why programs like Descript may be really good for story editing, but you really need to listen back, because just because you take out the words, it doesn't mean the flow, the vocal flow of the conversation or of the episode is still going. So you really need to listen, not just read text when you edit a podcast. Again, decisions. And Descript is definitely not, I don't think they have a free tier. A lot of these programs have a free tier or a free trial. Try them. I know you don't want to skip around from program to program to program because you want to just get your workflow down and move forward. But the way to get your workflow down and move forward is to actually experiment at first. Now, this might mean that you do this experimentation while you're getting your first couple of episodes ready before you even launch your podcast. Or if you launched it on the fly, like I did my first few podcasts, and yeah, I've had way too many podcasts, then you just assume that the first 6 months of making your podcast is going to be more time consuming. I mean, it will be anyway. There's such a learning curve of things that you don't know when you start that you learn as you're going. So that's just part of the process. So those are some of the things. I'm sure I've missed some. Oh, Alitu is also one that you can do in the cloud. You can edit in the cloud, and they have some functionality. It's not as granular as Audacity, Hindenburg, or Adobe Audition are. Adobe Audition, of course, would be one that is incredibly granular. And by that, I mean you have a lot that you can do within that program. Regardless of the DAW that you use, not regardless, for most of the DAWs that you use, if they're not just based in the cloud, you can use things called plugins to help with the sound quality or other things. For example, I use one particular plugin almost all the time because most of my clients record in an environment like I do where it's not sound treated walls, it's not in a studio, it's usually got like high ceilings or not very cushy surfaces around because it's in an office. And so I use Acon Digital's Reverberate. I want to say it was 60 or 70 US dollars when I first bought it. I'll put a link down below so you can check it out. It is the most effective thing that I have ever found for taking out that echo that you don't want in the sound. And it makes a big, big difference. You can also use Alphonic to try to take that out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the recording. You get free 2 hours with Alphonic. It's a cloud program that you can use. It doesn't edit your podcast, but it can do some sound cleanup. So as you can tell by these 5 minutes, there's a lot of choices you can make in the software and cloud programs and whatnot to edit your podcast. And there's different things that you can edit in your podcast. So the most important things are to go slow, experiment, be patient with yourself, and ask people, look, I'm trying to get it to sound like this. What do I do to get there? Just ask questions. Ask me, ask other people, ask other podcasters in any groups or that you're in or whatnot. If you listen to podcasts and you find one that sounds like how you want to sound, ask them how they do it. People are really friendly in the podcasting space, and generally speaking, sharing information is one of the norms. So do ask around until you get it to sound like you want. Do not worry about it sounding like X, Y, or Z. No, you want it to sound how you want it to sound, with the time, the resources, and the tools that you have. You're not trying to be anybody else. You're not trying to have a podcast like anybody else's. You have a unique creature that you are making, and you want it to fit into your time, your budget, and all of that good stuff. So make it sound like how you want, and then let the connections fly. All right, I will be back tomorrow with more tips. If you have any questions or you'd like to come on for a free coaching program, whether you need help with your podcast planning, workflow, promotions, YouTube for podcasting, or ChatGPT for podcast marketing, I do all of those coaching programs. You can get a 15-minute free one. We'll put it up on the thing. It'll give you more promotions. It's just such a win-win, seriously. Again, comment below or contact me at coffeelikemedia.com. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.